rapping for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Modify Your Life podcast, where today we got a heavy talks, right? And obviously, you know, a lot of us spend a lot of time on social media, as I do myself, and I see a lot of different things that, you know, I love. You probably see me commenting on a lot of different stuff, a lot of positive stuff, and defending some people that are in the gym, putting the work and still get some backlash, right? With this, that, you guys already know I stand about that. All right, if you're someone ain't doing better than you, then their voice and their opinion and their thoughts on you is literally irrelevant. But what I have been noticing on social media is people thinking this stuff is easy, right? We think weight loss should be easy. We think growing a business should be easy. We think growing a brand should be easy, all right? And what it is that I think what went wrong is that social media came around. And now hear me out. Back when my uncle wanted to start a business, my whole family was very, very nervous for him. Now, this is stories that I was told, right? Remember, this is what I was told. You had to go to school. You had to do this. Having a job, having your own business, growing your own business is hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Remember, this was before I was even born, right? This is stories passed down to me. And everyone would told him, like, no, you have to go, you know, be a longshoreman. You have to go to college. You got to finish college. You got to do longshoreman. You got to get a 9-to-5 job. You got to get something that's respectful. Back then, it was kind of in a way frowned upon by being an entrepreneur because it was hard. Back then, we didn't have social media, right? We only had the people that was in our circle or in our family that were business owners that said, do this or don't do that, or try this, or you should do business, or heck no, you shouldn't do business. And the people that said you shouldn't do business are most likely ones that never tried or ones that failed in it, right? And failing is just giving up, right? Because think about it. I've failed plenty of times, but I just chose not to give up. And now I may be doing weight loss and I may be a coach and, you know, a motivational speaker, and it's not has anything to do with cars, but I just never gave up on myself. For a while, I did lose focus on it though, right? And getting back into this story, you know, it was hard. It was hard. Owning a business is hard. Owning a business was hard. But my uncle did it, right? He started a business, still has a business to this day, right? But he did it even though everyone said it was hard. And when I grew up and I started working with him and I started, you know, seeing how one of the vivid memories I have in my head right now, and I'm going to send this to my uncle because he's going to remember this stuff, is always spending the night in his house. He had like a bed with the brown wooden pillars. I remember this stuff. I can't remember shit I did last week. And I can remember because this stuff is just meaningful. I remember waking up in his bed because I would always spend the night over there on the weekends and stuff like that. And I would wake up and I would hear the shower on and I I would hear the shower on, but still be half asleep. But then in a couple minutes, I would smell like cologne. Then I wake up halfway, see my uncle. He's all dressed in his suit, got his shoe boot. You know what I mean? Good enough. They're looking spiffy. Right. And I'll never forget that because I used to think it was so badass that, you know, he was getting up and he was going to work at a place that he owns. And I can remember the smells. I'm sharing the story. Right. And he went through the years of having a business and building that business into something humongous, something big. And when I got to the age of working with him and seeing what he did, and I used to think it was so cool that he owned, I shouldn't say owned workers, but he had workers. He had people working for him. And I used to always go around and say, hey, you better do your job. I'm gonna have to get you. I'm gonna have to tell my uncle to fire you. Like messing around, just being a little shithead kid, right? But when I grew up and I wanted to do business, he didn't tell me that business was easy, but he said do it. He said it's worth it. And I told him like, oh, I think the first thing around was like, I want to be a DJ. He's like, all right, he'll do it. And he had some speakers and he gave them to me, right? So, and I'm sharing this story because he never said that, oh, it's gonna be easy and blah blah blah. And he also said, oh, Mio, no, don't do business. It's way too hard, because he put in the work. He knows the work that goes into it. He showed me a lot of the back end of what he did. And I was at a very, very young age, but he wasn't scared of it, right? Because he tackled that fear. And I'm not saying that he's had a business where, you know, he's never had any problems or anything like that, but he never told me don't start a business, right? He never told me to, oh, well, there's so much too hard of work and it's going to take too much of your time. You need to go to school first to have a plan B. He's someone that put in the work, and he said, well, Mio, he's like, if you want to work for yourself, there's no better field in the world, but it's a lot of work. And I'll never forget conversations like that because it was coming from the horse's mouth, right? It's coming from someone who actually did the job. It's coming from someone who shoveled the shit. It's coming from someone who actually put in the work when it comes to owning a business and dealing with all the stress and all the stuff behind. They did it. He's done it. He maintained the business and growth, and he still has a business to this day, right? And I feel what went wrong with just, having social media around in business and weight loss is that we think this stuff is supposed to be easy. For some reason, we hop on social media, we see someone that's selling some type of program, to see someone that says, oh, well, instead of working hard for 2 years, you just work hard for 2 months with me and you're going to get all the success. And we fall into this trap, and then we just kind of compare ourselves to other people that we don't know that the people that we're funding, we're making business easy for them. But we're making business and weight loss harder for us because we are the buyers. They are the sellers. They're the ones that are collecting the cash from us while we're collecting the false hopes and dreams. Why? Because we're selling ourselves short. We're looking for that easy way out, right? And just looking at the life lessons that I've been taught over the last couple years, I've lived 27 years before I felt I even learned lessons. But now that I put in the work, now that I've lost the weight, now that I've changed my mindset, now that I look at life differently, now all those memories and all those stuff that I was learning lessons, I just wasn't prepared to listen to them. Like, why would my uncle, something I remember, a smell, my uncle getting ready and going to a business, a shop that he owns or he runs. At the time, I think he ran it. It ended up leading to being the owner. Is because those were all life lessons of like every single day while we were in bed laying down, he was going to work. We were comfortable in his bed while he was putting on his suit, getting ready for the day with his suitcase and his tux and ready to go to work. You know what I mean? So those were lessons. Like I'm telling you, like this is lessons that I'm learning. I only learn now because I put in the work. Before, I didn't think business was hard. I always had a business. I always was doing something. I was always busy. I was always creating the next best thing, but I wasn't accomplishing shit because I didn't realize at that time in my life that business and weight loss is hard because it's something that you have to stay consistent. And the reason why we fail in these things is because we don't stay consistent with anything. We do it. We tell our friends that we're doing it. We get a little, and I'm talking about a little success. I'm talking about a couple $100, right? The bottom of the barrel success. I'm talking about a couple pounds, a couple bucks, a couple followers, right? A couple clients. And then we jump ship because something gets hard and we're like pigeons and we go to the next thing, right? Going into our weight loss journeys. How many of us have started something, see a little bit of change, then we see Susan and Jeff post this freaking weight loss tea and you could drink alcohol every single weekend and enjoy your life. And if you just drink this stuff, and then we go hop on that ship. Then we do it for a second and we hop on the next ship. When have you ever sat down and realized that the reason why you're not successful, the reason why you're not where you want to be in life is because you were too scared to stay consistent in anything. And the choice you have to make is because you're scared to fail, well, then you're going to fail life because life's biggest lessons is taught with failure. Or is because you just don't want to do it, or you just want to do it because you want other people to acknowledge you. Because if you're doing it because you want other people to acknowledge it, you got a whole life ahead of you of just broken hearts. Let me tell you right now, I've done some pretty badass shit and I haven't been acknowledged for anything. You have to understand that by you going from group to group, circle to circle, business to business, task to task, you're not accomplishing anything. You're doing 20, 30 things in a day. And when you go to sleep and you lay your head down at night, you can't say you accomplished one complete thing. A task that is accomplished is at finish. It's from doing it. Starting a task at 0%, and when you go to sleep, it is now at 100%. That is a task of you getting your clothes, putting them in the dishwasher, or put them in the washer, put them in the dryer, folding them, putting away. That is a complete task. A complete task is going, washing your car, gassing it up, while X, Y, and Z, bringing it back home, drying it off. Then your car is completely clean. Not starting to do it. Right, but we do this 10% and yet we expect 100% result. And you're listening to someone speak about this because I gave everything in life 10%. I've done 1,000 things in my lifetime at 10% and yet I've accomplished nothing. I had nothing to show for it other than a bank account that said a business name or made a couple bucks on a website or had a couple bookings as a DJ. I did not have anything to show for it long term because I wasn't willing to put in the work. I wasn't willing to push past the part where it was fun and it became a job. I wasn't willing to push past the part where knowing the bare minimum and it was no longer good enough. Until I started looking at life differently and realizing that it wasn't easy to be 600 pounds. That's a task in itself. The amount of eating, the amount of going out, the amount of food, what money I spent on food. the amount of time I put into what we're going to do next, the amount of time I put into going out and drinking every single weekend, Uber Eats, the amount of time I wasted in bed instead of getting up and going to change my life around or becoming something. That's the biggest price you're going to pay. You can't put a price tag on wasting your life. And that's what I did. And until I started to take myself seriously, until I realized that, okay, this is going to be a difficult journey of weight loss, of starting a business, of starting a brand, doing it correctly. But I'm willing to take every single punch on the chin and figure out what I'm going to learn for it and stay consistent and not quit on myself until I realize that that is what it took for me to be successful. That is a time when I stopped giving 10% to stuff. And I did it. You guys are listening. You guys see me had the following a couple years ago, but my hands were in everything. I was doing meal prep. We had a taco business, a mini pancake business. I think that's it. Then I moved into online coaching. How was I going to tackle a task at 100% when I was giving everything 10 to 15% at a time and not accomplishing anything at the end of the day? And what I realized is that my hands were so many different baskets. My hands were actually in none. I was like, hand was in baskets. My hands were reaching towards baskets, but I never completely got to them. And then I started to look and see like, well, I'm so busy in a day, but I'm not accomplishing anything. And then I had to reflect again. Well, hold on. Business is no different than my weight loss. This stuff takes time. It takes knowledge. It takes energy. It takes being uncomfortable. It takes stepping out your comfort zone. It takes consistent moving forward every single day. And then you get punched back a couple, and then you got to keep going. You got to keep going. Then you get punched back in, and you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And so made the move to Vegas, and I doubled down on the things that were most important to me. My brand, online coaching. And I've grown the most that I've ever grown in my whole entire 33 years of life of living when I stopped giving 10%. Now, that was 3 years after I've already started my weight loss journey that life taught me that lesson. Because I had a lot, and still do, but I had a lot more bad habits to break. Because I spent so many years thinking that life is supposed to be easy. Things are supposed to be handed to me. I didn't realize watching my uncle getting ready for work while we're sleeping comfortable in his bed, that was something that he had to do so we can sleep comfortable in his bed in Anaheim Hills in a luxury ass townhome on top of the hill overlooking everything. The stuff didn't make sense to me then. It didn't make sense growing up. But now that I realize how difficult good things are to have, now it makes sense. I see it, right? And how many of us think that life is supposed to be simple? Life is supposed to be easy. Well, I just want to, work a little bit and make a lot. No, you're not going to work a little bit and make a lot. What you're going to do is you're going to work a little bit and make a little bit, and you're going to live a mediocre life because your mindset is easy, easy, easy. And unfortunately, the 1% most likely not listening to this podcast right now. The 1%, they'll have the rich parents, a billionaire parents, a millionaire parents, most likely are not listening. They're probably somewhere in the Bahamas right now on a yacht. They're not listening to the podcast driving to your 9-to-5 job that you most likely hate. Because we think that this stuff is supposed to be easy. And just to call myself out that it's so disrespectful by me thinking that I was going to become successful after looking at all these people I had surrounded me that I personally thought were successful and think I was going to do a quarter of the work and get the full result. It's kind of slapping the face to the people that we look up to because we think we're going to do less work than them and we're going to make more than them. We think we're going to do less work than them and catch up to them. If their car is going 100 miles an hour, 365 days out of the year, and your car is going 10 miles an hour, you're never going to catch up to them. If anything, you're going to get lapped. So when you stop going on social media and following these people and these quick tips and tricks and hacks and how to be successful fast and join my program and you're going to lose weight and your life is going to change, when you stop following that stuff that falls in line with quick and easy, and you start following people and listening to people that are telling you the truth, have actually done the work, when you stop chasing the quick and easy, fast and simple instant gratification, your life is going to change. because you're not going to expect to get all the results tomorrow from the little bit of work you did today. And you're going to understand that you're not going to get all the results in 2 months just because you started 2 months earlier. This stuff happens over time, whether it be business, whether it be weight loss, whether it be paying off the IRS, whether it be paying your debt off that you've made so many mistakes on that I'm doing right now. It happens over time. And life will do a hell of a job of letting you know that you don't control the shit. Life will let you know that it is in control. You put in the work, you'll get it when you get it. The things in life that are some of the best things to do, to be healthy, to have a healthy relationship, right? To have a healthy relationship with friends and family, and have a healthy business relationship, or a work relationship, whatever it is, relationships in general with yourself or with other people, marriages, they take work, they take time. This stuff it's built. And unfortunately, a lot of us are fed into this false narrative that it's going to be simple to have a successful weight loss journey, or to start a successful business, or to have a successful marriage, or to be a great mom, or to be a great dad. This stuff takes time. This stuff does not come easy. It's something you have to work on every single day, being better. And some persons are out there saying, well, AJ, Heavy to Modify, like, it just takes a lot of time to, focus on being better every single day. But yet you've lived the last 5 years focusing on being a freaking piece of shit every single day. Every single day you've done things to push you away from who you want to be. Every single day you restarted a new diet. Every single day you thought of a business and didn't move forward with it. Every single day you said that you weren't going to eat fast food and you did. Every single day you said you're going to save money, you didn't start saving money. Every single weekend you said you weren't going to go out, you went out. So you've been focusing on being an asshole for the last 5-10 years, but you won't take the next 4, 5, 6 months and focus on being a better person and see where that takes you and your mindset and your body, your physical, your mental, your emotional, your financial, your spiritual. Because it's not easy. Why? Because people will sit here and say, whoa, coach, I can't eat the same food every single day. Y'all doesn't make sense. You're just a robot. But we eat the same food every single day no matter what. McDonald's, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, Uber Eats, Chinese food. It's all the same crap. You'll have McDonald's. If I told you, hey, you'll lose 100 pounds if you have McDonald's every single day, you're going to complain about eating McDonald's? No, you won't complain. But if I asked you to eat something that maybe is not the funnest to eat every single day, you won't do it because it's not fun. It doesn't fall in your narrative of what fun life should look like. So is it that you can't do it or you choose not to? Is it that it's too hard for you, or your time is better off somewhere over there? Because I'll tell you right now, there's not one person on this planet that is not capable of being not just a great person, just a great human being, who they were raised to be, who they envision themselves. When they look in the mirror and they know this is how I should be, I'm just not working for it. There's not one person that's not capable of achieving that person. But what it is that we hold ourselves back by thinking it's easy. We get so worked up and so pushed out of shape and so mad and so frustrated with life that we just give up on ourselves. You don't even give yourself, if you gave yourself 50% of the effort that you give to other people for them to like you, I guarantee you'll probably start liking yourself a lot more. One thing you'll never get from me and anyone from the Heavy to Modify team is that this is easy. It's not easy. If I've had to overcome depression, suicidal thoughts, obesity, bad eating habits, bad relation with food. I had to let go not having a dad. I had to let go of certain things in my childhood. I had to let go of people making fun of me. That shit's not easy to let go of that stuff, but it was affecting me. It was stopping Anthony Lopez from growing into who I knew I should be. And that's becoming a crutch. And when it's becoming a crutch and I know the problem is now my obligation to fix that. So how long are you going to think that life is supposed to be easy? How long are you going to wait for the next magic pill, the next magic shot, or the next magic surgery to change your life around? Because you've waited this long and it still has not been there. It is still has not been made. It's like that Monday. It never came. Like that perfect day. It never came. It's you making the decision right now to get out and become better. Not become perfect overnight, become better. Not to lose 100 pounds overnight, to lose 0.1. To become better. You need to get out of your head instant gratification and focus on long-term success. Because the more you think that this stuff is meant to be easy, the further and further away you're pushing yourself from being great. No one's going to save you. No one's going to do the work for you. And there ain't no magic coach, pill, program, shot, anything like that that's going to make you a better version of yourself. It's you versus you. And that's it.
All this happened for myself and my family. There's no way that this is real, man, it can't be.